You're watching Back Pages tonight. Welcome back to Jason Burt, the chief football correspondent at the Telegraph, and John Cross, the Mirror's chief football writer. Let's get to the back pages of the Sun and the Express. They were kind of doing the same headline. I wonder if they had the same headline right for this, because it's Poch job and Botch job. Let's focus on Mauricio Pochettino then, Jason. Pochettino to Chelsea looked very, very close, according to various sources. Is it the right fit?
It does feel like it is. Obviously, we know he wants to come back to the Premier League, and he was hoping at one stage that we'd be back to Tottenham Hotspur, but he's always had a little bit of a hankering after Chelsea. I think he's spoken to them before. I think they've been interested in him before, and that's been an ongoing situation. Obviously, when they hired Graham Potter, I think they were quite impressed by Mauricio Pochettino then. So I think he was always in their minds as a possibility for their next manager. And actually, if you look at the fit, it looks right in terms of the type of squad they've got, the profile of those players, young players on big contracts, on long contracts, perhaps looking for a bit more direction from somebody like a Mauricio Pochettino. So it does tick all the boxes, and you would expect it to be a success, actually. I think his time at Paris Saint-Germain burnt him a little bit. I think it was very difficult dealing with that club and those egos, but I don't think that should be held against him necessarily. But I think he's also learned a little bit more about what it's like to be, and I don't want to offend Tottenham Hotspur fans, but a club that's got a higher profile around the world at the present time, and that is clearly Chelsea. So I think he will have learned some lessons from that. So I think he will be appointed the Chelsea head coach. It may even happen some point this week, I think. And I think it looks to me like a decent appointment. But then in saying that, I was one of those who said that was the same about Graham Potter.
John, he's biding his time, isn't he, Mauricio Pochettino? Because by all accounts, he has been getting offers for jobs. What assurances do you think he will receive from Chelsea if indeed he is to take on that job?
Yeah, he's had to have had huge assurances, I think, because rather like Jason, I think Pochettino is a great fit for Chelsea. I think he can bring bring together a sort of a harmonious dressing room. You know, if there's sort of fractures there because the dressing room has been so big, the squad is so big. I think if you look at the way he brought together Tottenham, you know, the Tottenham squad, I thought that was fantastic. He's a really good manager. I think he's an outstanding coach. He just oozes charm and personality, and I do think he's got a real fantastic way about him that I think can work. I think the assurances that he'll have sought are that he'll be the man in control. He will have the final say on so many deals in and out, because let's be honest, they'll have to weed out the squad this summer. There's far too many players, and they also need to make the finances work. I think he's got to be able to blend and mould a really successful team and dressing room. And I think if he gets that, they can be really successful. Obviously, you know, there's such a profile on the ownership with Todd Bowley in particular. And I do think that basically, there are times when they probably have to wind their neck in a little bit and sort of kind of keep a bit of a lower profile, if that were possible. I just think, I think he's got to have had assurances that he can build a team. And also, I think he likes to work with younger players, doesn't he? Build a kind of vibrant, homegrown sort of base and structure. And again, I think that will be significant for him, and I think important for him if he is indeed able and allowed to make Stamford Bridge work again.